Starring Red Velvet's Yeri, Bitch and Rich has returned to our screens for a second season. This is one of those shows that I could genuinely not tolerate, and despite the high-octane high school drama, I found the acting, writing, and plot twists quite boring and unbearable to watch. But here we are with another season beginning with another female student with a bob falling off the roof of a school. This time, though, it's not one of the poor girls. It's actually Siyun, the big villain of the previous season. Now, we're only in the first week of the show, so no, we don't have an answer for who killed Siyun yet, but I really think the show doesn't do a great job of keeping things connected and cohesive. Already in 2 episodes, the subject has shifted from Siyun to Jena's life. But with that said, let's jump into episodes 1 and 2 of Bitch X Rich 2. Episode 1 begins with Hye In reaching the school just as Siyun falls. She doesn't know what to do and can't even make a call to the police. She tries to look for Siyun's phone, presumably because it holds some evidence against her. Or maybe it's just so she can make the call to 119, but Siyun's already dead at this point. At the same time, we hear a voice recording in which Hye In tells Siyun not to publish a video or send it to anybody, but then Siyun ends up dead. So, what is this video? And is it the reason for Siyun's death? At school, Hye In is treated even more as an outcast because she's now the main suspect in Siyun's death. Despite the police claiming they're only questioning her as a witness, Hye In keeps making questionable remarks that make her seem suspicious. Honestly, this girl seems to get more naive by the day. Now, the last person Siyun contacted was Hye In, but Hye In won't tell the cops what she was being blackmailed about. This puts her more at risk of looking suspicious. Seo Hee-soo, the chairman, claims he's going to rescue the school from this crisis, but gives all the actual work to his good-for-nothing assistant. Siyun's parents somehow believe this is a suicide, or at least are claiming so, maybe because the chairman has forced them to do so as well. On the other hand, Hye In gets bullied by the boys again, and a new kid in school who comes in on a motorbike helps her escape after she uses a fire extinguisher on the boys and doesn't have anywhere left to go. This boy is Lee Se-rang, Lee So-ming's younger brother. The big brother helped Hye In out in the previous season. I wonder if the actor didn't want to show up for round 2. Later that day, Hye In finds Jena trying to get a taxi to find her mom. She's just learned that her parents' divorce and her dad's scandal are going to become news soon. Jena seems to think that just saying don't get divorced will get her dad to change his mind, but she's obviously wrong. She then threatens to hurt her soon-to-be stepmother, which prompts her dad to slap her. But Jena still worries about her mom, and Hye In helps her get to her. However, it's with no reward, of course. Maybe Hye In feels compelled to help Jena in order to become friends with her. The next day, at the Diamond 6 hotspot, Yeolhee and Jena seem to be having a secret battle of their own. We know that Jena previously exposed Yeolhee's boyfriend for cheating with Hye In. But Yeolhee chose to stay with the man, so that's got nothing to do with Jena. But the real big mess is when Hye In comes to school and learns that her dad is begging for forgiveness on his knees for what she did, turns out. The bully who got hurt went and complained to his mom, so she's threatening to sue. Instead of fighting, Hye In quietly gets on her knees to after her teacher reminds her that she's the one who can't fight back in this situation. She feels bad for putting her dad in such a position and hopes she never have to do it again. Bitch and Rich 2 episode 2 begins with a new dude named Jin-wook joining the school. He seems to be the big hotshot of this season. He's the son of a big conglomerate family just like Jena, and apparently the first thing his parents have planned for his return is for him to see a potential bride, i.e. Jena. Of course, Jena thinks this is the lowest her dad can get, trying to sell her off at such a young age because his mistress is likely pregnant with his son. Pathetic. But Jinwook seems to have some other plans. He thinks they can work together and not be the pawns in their parents' game. On the other hand, somebody on the internet calling themselves Black Dog leaks the details of who the mistress of the chairman is, making it known that it was a teacher at the school. At home, Jena finds that her stepmother has just moved in. Jena tells her that she'll never be welcome and that her child will forever be a half-rate. Black Dog is probably one of the students, no? On the other hand, Serang tells Hye In that the only way she can protect herself is by joining the Diamond Six. Hye In has only one way of doing this, by striking a deal with Jena. But the problem is that she has nothing much to offer. Already, Jena knows that Yeolhee probably pushed Hye In, who we haven't seen yet this season, so the necklace Hye In has is of no use to her. But on her way out of Jena's house, Hye In finds Jena's stepmother arguing with someone on the phone. Hye In starts recording as Jena's stepmom seems to be being threatened by this mysterious caller. She then says that she's going to make her kid the heir of the Hanmyeong group, whatever it takes. I don't know about you, but it makes me feel like the kid might not be Jena's half-sibling at all. But I could be totally off. Meanwhile, Yeolhee is going around making deals with the school chairman to take disciplinary action against Jena. But Jena has a trump card, the necklace, as evidence that Hye In's case isn't one of suicide but attempted murder. At the end of episode 2, Jena invites 2 new members into the Diamond Six and gets rid of Dooyeon. Lee Serang is already in, but the new members are Jinwook and Hye In. Jinwook can certainly make the highest donation, but how can Hye In join? I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out soon enough, though.